back to Sam and Jen Got Divorced. We are here with another episode for you today. It is going to be live. We'll be talking about dating after divorce. What went down, the nitty gritty, it's going to be ugly. Oh, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Samuel's here because he has to be here. But we have a special guest with us. Her name is Natasha Halliday, and we are very excited to have her. We'll drop all her information down in the links, and you'll be able to connect with her afterwards. Let us jump in.
All right. So my first question, how did you know you were ready to start dating after divorce?
That's a good question. Yeah. You want me to go first?
Yes.
Yes. I would say my first indicator that I was ready, and we'll say after divorce. So let me throw this in, okay? Because I actually started dating before divorce, before official divorce. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. It's crazy. Before the papers were filed, I actually started dating. And I think I realized in that space that I wasn't ready, but it was helpful for me to regain like a sense of self-esteem in a way. I was like, oh, okay, I can still be myself. I can still, cultivate like intimate relationship. I'm still open to love. Bitterness hasn't like hijacked my ability to, love somebody. But I think what really, after the divorce, what really highlighted to me my readiness was I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't like the world has taken away this thing from me. Like I feel bamboozled. This sense of like injustice. I didn't feel that anger anymore. Like that sense of like hurt. And like life owed me something. Like this shouldn't have happened to me, like I didn't feel that anymore. And I think that was like an indicator for me. Like I could actually, you're laughing. I could actually get into a dating type of relationship without, the baggage of divorce and marriage.
I definitely didn't think about anything about ready. Ready was not in my paradigm. I was just like,
you weren't even ready for divorce. Like you weren't ready.
That's it.
Yeah, this is like, I feel like this is a theme.
I mean, those of you who have listened to some of our other episodes know that I didn't know that I was divorced until 2 years after I was divorced. For a lot of the time when we were separated, my focus was on reconciliation. So I wasn't dating. For a while, Genevieve was like, I don't know if I want to reconcile or not. I'm still deciding. And she was focused on school and other aspects of her life. And then we had a conversation and she said, you know what, I think I do want a divorce. And that was when things changed for me. That's when I opened myself up to dating. But it wasn't about being ready because I probably wasn't ready. It was about a desire for connection and companionship. All my romantic and emotional energy was focused on reconciliation. And then when we had that conversation, I was like, well, I have all this. Let me just see if I can connect with somebody else. That was the approach that I took. Which I wouldn't
transferring the credits to somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I just did initiate transfer,
Yes.
No Western Union, but yeah.
So what steps did you take to try to move back into the dating world? Because for some people, that's an obvious thing. For some people, it's one of the great mysteries of time.
I'm pretty organic. So I like to have in-person conversations with people. So if I meet somebody, I'm like, oh, there's kind of a little something here. Like, I'm open. I won't necessarily like drive anything or pursue anything, but I'm usually pretty open to seeing what can transpire. So I didn't do anything like dating apps. I didn't do anything intentional. I didn't like pursue anything, but I responded, if there were like inquiries or what have you. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Let's see where this goes kind of thing. So it was, I guess it's more passive than anything else. I was like a passive responder to.
But I think the idea of being open is something that people don't always check with themselves. Am I open for this?
That's true.
Right.
So I think the intentionality was in being open.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely, I knew when I was like, okay, now I'm open to this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did both. I did the dating apps thing and I did the organic connection situation. I think as men, we can't be as passive necessarily.
Okay.
Or, it depends on the man. Maybe I can't be, maybe men more attractive and desirable than me can be more passive. But generally the men are the ones who are doing the hunting and the chasing and the pursuing. What was different was if there was a connection or there was a vibe, I would lean in. I would say, okay, let's let's talk more about this, right? There was times when there was none of that, but I still wanted to have a connection, so I would download a dating app. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How did you find the dating apps? I don't know. I can never get into that space. I'm not kissing my teeth.
Dating apps, I mean,
I can never get into that.
They serve a good purpose. The good side is that you can narrow down exactly what you're looking for and connect with that, right? Like, does this person work in this industry? Are they this tall? Are they this color? All these things,
Provided
right?
they're honest.
Pardon me?
Is it providing they're honest?
Yeah. I guess the height.
what if
I've
you're
heard that the
catfish?
heights. Catfish is a thing, I guess.
It's a real thing. I've heard of that.
Yeah. In real life, you can't catfish people, right?
Right.
That's the good thing.
Exactly.
And that's what's better about, like, in real
love
life, you meet somebody and you can feel if there's a degree of a connection, and then you exchange information or whatever, and the conversation continues, and you get to know each other that way. You already know that there's mutual attraction. On dating apps, it kind of works that way too. But like, as a man, you might swipe 100 times, find 10 people you like, to get 5 of those who like you, and then 3 of those conversations go nowhere. And then maybe you go on 2 dates, and then 1 person you actually like. It's a little bit of a waste
Full-time
of
job.
time compared to, again, living life and meeting people who, again, you already know you have similar interests and or mutual attraction.
Yeah. I feel like dating apps are a full-time job.
Can be.
It can be. So the next question comes out of my job. As a therapist, I've seen a trend. And I see it amongst my friends too, and I've seen it in my own life. I feel that in society we are taught to seek relationship, not seek good relationship. So given that you guys are divorced, how do you move with intentionality about vetting what you want to get the type of relationship you want?
Yeah, I think my first instinct is modeling. And you're right in that society doesn't necessarily promote the quality of relationship. We promote connection in whatever way you can or you want or whatever. But I think in modeling and valuing great relationships and quality relationships, then we embody like the values and the components, the elements, the skills that are required for cultivating those good relationships. It's easier when you're modeling something to see it mirrored or represented in another. It's like you feel like there's a match there. So you show up in a particular way, somebody shows up in that way, there's a match. You show up in a particular way, somebody doesn't show up in that way, it's a mismatch, right? And so you know that you're not going to pursue a further connection with that person. So I think in that it's like it's easier to find people who are like-minded and who are passionate about like the same thing, having quality relationship.
So you're saying just be amazing and you'll attract amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. You just attract what you are.
That's what I was doing wrong. I think I wasn't being as amazing.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, you have to be high vibes. And yeah, it's okay. I mean, you had amazing moments.
I did have amazing moments. No, I mean, and to be fair, I think the people that I dated were all women who I thought were amazing then and think are amazing now for the most part. After a while, you get to know who's not going to like you and who you're not going to like. I'm a particular person. There's a lot about me that people can find to not like, and there's a lot about me that people can find to be attracted to. And same thing. Like there's some things that 9 out of 10 of my male friends are attracted to and would look for that I'm not attracted to and are not important to me. So yeah, after I was able to like break that down into a list in nerd fashion, I was just able to say within a few minutes or hours or dates, who's going to be more of a match, let's say.
Yeah, and it's always borne out in these conversations because people reveal themselves when they speak, right? I mean, you can see somebody, they might look all the things, but once they open their mouth, they can't hide. They can't hide who they are. And if you talk to them enough, they're going to let you know what they believe in, what they think, what they feel. And from there, you can do the, okay, cool, yeah, awesome, good, see you, catch you on the next side kind of thing. Yeah.
How did you, I'm curious, I know you're supposed to be asking the questions, not to step on your foot.
Go ahead.
If there was somebody you started dating and then it wasn't working out, how did you let them know that? Did you ghost? Did you fade away?
No.
Did you express it explicitly? Like,
Yeah.
you're a little bit shorter than I thought you were, like.
No, I think the conversations happen before we get in too deep, so to speak. I think those conversations happen in the like friendship space. And so you can get to know somebody better in that space, right? Okay. So it would never get to dating. Like if, sorry, it would never get.
Fair.
It would never get there.
Trail of broken hearts.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No, it just no.
Keep them as friends so you can't break their hearts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What does it define the relationship? We don't do that. We're fostering a friendship, right? And from there, we decide whether or not we're going to stay friends or we're going to take it to the next stage. And if you get to the next stage, then you're lucky. You're lucky.
What a privilege and an honor.
Yeah.
What a privilege. But it is. That's the thing.
But
and
you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, I actually value people to the point where I do believe it's a privilege and an honor that they give me their time. Right. And I also believe it's a privilege and an honor for them to have my time.
Absolutely.
And so we're adding value to one another. There's a back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be in anybody's space and have no purpose and or have bad intentions for them. I'm like, it's your life too, right? And just the way I value my life and my time, I value your life and your time. Good. At the end of the day, if it's going to be a waste, you tell me you have 6 kids and you want to be married next year and you love me, well, sweetheart, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's not gonna be a thing.
What's wrong with 6 kids?
I don't want that. Like, I don't want that. So I'm gonna be no, I don't want their kids. I don't want.
But they would be your kids.
No, they wouldn't.
You would be getting free kids.
I don't want their free kids. I want to pay for mine. I want to pay for my kids, okay? Because the things that we get free, we don't value as much as the things that we pay for. There's a cost, okay? I want to sacrifice and pay my dues.
You could use your money if you want.
To have no, I meant other kind of costs, like like you have a child, like a baby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to experience the stretching and
all of the things
and the pain,
all
and
of the things, yes,
and the bloating, and yeah, that's fair.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Right, because there's a connection that comes from that you can't get elsewhere. But either way, my desire is not to be with a man who has that many children. So I'd be upfront.
What's the cap? What's the upward limit?
The cap? Yeah. Oh, I haven't thought about that, but it's not. It's under 6.
Okay.
It's under 6.
What if there's 6, but 3 of them are over the age of adults? So
no. They're still yours though. They're still. Hello.
All right.
Okay. No. Okay.
The math is mathing.
Math is mathing. Mm-hmm. So, if that's the case, then I'll be clear about that.
So this actually brings me to what I was thinking about for the next question. Name 1 or 2 of your deal breakers.
Ooh. More than 6 kids, for one. Mm-hmm. Well, at this point, and this is gonna sound so like, how do you qualify this? Like low emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, relational intelligence. Like, I just can't anymore. I can't. Yeah.
That's fair. I feel like even in answering it, you felt like you had to justify it, but you don't need to justify it because it's about knowing yourself. Yeah. And so when you look at quantifying it, the only quantifying it is what doesn't match what you can tolerate.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to meet anybody else's standard.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
But what if your standards are keeping you back?
That's
You'll find that out along the way. Mm. And that's a process that you have to move through.
And I think that's okay, too.
That your standards keep you back? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because
it's based on readiness.
Right. Yeah. It's like you'll grow into whatever. But if you have a certain level of but I know I want to have certain conversations, and I also know I want a relationship that embodies certain qualities and certain values, and so and I'm like, if you don't come with that, I don't want to teach you. Mm-hmm. You need, first of all, I've been there, done that. I'm not doing that anymore. Second of all, if you are like 2 notches above me, 3 preferably, that's where I want to. I need you to teach me. I need somebody to follow. I need somebody to teach me how to be more emotionally intelligent than I am. I need somebody to challenge me now. I know I'm a natural challenger and all that good stuff, but
Do you feel like we had that?
To a certain degree, yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. At that time.
Yes. That's why I said had. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Whereas right now, how many notches above you would you say I am?
Yeah, right.
What are we talking about?
Deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
So I'd asked you to name 1 or 2 deal breakers.
Yeah, I do have deal breakers.
Yeah, okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I had another one. Drugs and alcohol.
Like abuse of drugs and alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they have a drink or they have a joint or they have a little bit of heroin, it's okay.
No.
Okay.
A little bit of heroin, just one shot, one shot a day. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
My deal breakers: no growth mindset. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like
Is that hard to find?
There's 3 levels. A lot of people that I end up being around have growth mindsets. So you almost take it for granted. But there's 2 things. One is some people don't, and they think they do, or they actually do. But I'm also a challenger. How much I push other people and I push myself is significant. So not everyone is going to be a fit for that.
Yeah.
So I dated somebody who hated that term, growth mindset or growth oriented, or growth centric. Like one of the phrases that I love to use, which is a challenging phrase and is also not entirely correct, but I like the phrase anyways, is life is not comfort centric, but it's growth centric. Meaning that you can pursue things that are going to be easier and more comfortable, etc. Or you can pursue things that will challenge you and cause you to grow and make you better, which from my perspective then makes other aspects of life even more comfortable.
Yes.
Right? You go to the gym, you lift a 20-pound weight long enough, that's comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you keep lifting your 5-pound weights, you're never going to grow. It's nuanced. There's some things you don't want to deal with. You don't want to deal with 6 kids. I get that, right? That's because it's uncomfortable to have to manage all that, which I get. But again, for me, a deal breaker is somebody who is not consistently challenging themselves in healthy ways and also is not willing to let me challenge them. That's, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good. So y'all have this podcast. You're divorced, and we're talking about dating after divorce. How does the mate fit in with this? You're going to have to meet some secure people.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly it. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Someone who is secure. Highly
I answered my
emotionally
own
intelligent.
question.
That's good.
Yeah.
Highly emotionally intelligent. But I think also purpose-oriented. So recognizing the greater purpose of what we're doing and being able to lean in and buy into that. Because, I mean, this is not just about us. We're here and we're like, oh, yeah, let's throw a podcast because we're like really cool. We want to hang out together. No, there's, there's greater purpose in it, right?
Okay.
So
with that in mind, in a previous episode, you guys talked about you actually travel together. Post-divorce.
like, well,
Have
not
you
post-divorce.
traveled post-divorce?
No. While we were separated, we traveled together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you guys travel together again?
For speaking engagements? Yeah, absolutely. For work.
It wouldn't look exactly the same as
Not
it
the
did at
same.
that
Right.
time
Yeah, not like
necessarily.
as romantic partners.
Right.
Yeah, although at that time it was interesting because we were separated and I was hoping for reconciliation at that time. We booked a birthday trip for myself together and she was like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure this is a good idea? Like, yeah, we'll be back together by then. It'll be fine. I was a little bit overly optimistic on that one. But so we booked this, this trip to see her family in England and then about a week in Iceland together. Right? We were separated, so it wasn't a romantic trip at that stage. But we also didn't tell them that we had been separated. So it was this kind of awkward space that we're lying in the same bed, pretending to be a somewhat happy couple. But it was also a nice and special trip. Like the time that we spent together, we traveled Iceland just the 2 of us, and it was an enjoyable, meaningful time, despite the fact that we weren't romantic partners. So
Right.
Yeah.
in the future, maybe we'll get different rooms this time, but we
I think we're still cool.
yeah, we can vibe.
Did you have any other deal breakers? Because anything else that you'd felt compelled to share?
Realistically, if we're going to be life partners together, it makes sense that they're a person that shares the same faith that I do. Just because there's decisions that I'll make and reasons I'll be going towards certain things that won't make sense to somebody who doesn't share the same religious or spiritual views. Some people like to say that I have a type because the 2 women I've loved, who are Genevieve and somebody else before her, they look somewhat similar. Like they're similar height, similar build, similar skin tone, etc. Genevieve disagrees, I think, right?
No, I think we
Y'all
we
alike?
resemble one another.
Yeah. So anyways,
Cool.
I
That's
dated a
hilarious.
3rd person who looked like them,
Oh,
right?
Lord, have mercy.
Same height, same build, but she was spiritual. We got along great. The vibes were immaculate, but for faith reasons, we ended up breaking up. Just because we're thinking, okay, if we're looking at family, if we're looking at all these other things, how are we going to be aligned? Are we going to be fighting? What are our kids going to do? How are they going to behave, etc.? So,
Yeah.
I think where we had moved to was talking about the traveling, you guys traveling together, now that I remember. And so you talked about traveling during your separation. And now post-divorce, if you were to travel together, would be because you're working together doing the podcast. How do you think you would navigate having that conversation with somebody you're dating with?
Yeah. I mean,
Girl,
honesty,
listen up. This is what's happening. This is how it's gonna be. No, is that not the way you talk to somebody you're dating?
I mean, you could try it.
Into emotional intelligence
You could
again,
try- you
given that response.
I've always wanted to understand what that phrase meant. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you could try that. Let us know how it goes.
yeah.
How it goes down.
Can you record that conversation?
Please
for
do.
us to
Actually,
do at a later date?
I'd really like to
I'd
review
like
that
to
as
see
well.
that, yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
That's the short I'd like to see on the internet.
That's funny.
In all seriousness,
R.I.P. We don't see that. Going to a whole funeral. Okay. I'm sorry. Did you want to actually answer? Or you?
yeah, my actual answer is it would have to be a discussion, but there are things that I believe I have to do, that we believe that we have to do, and when you're in a relationship, you have to respect that. If there are too many of those things that the other person can't take, the relationship is not going to work. So if I'm with somebody, I think they're going to have to be open-minded and emotionally intelligent about the fact that we're doing this for a purpose. It's about something bigger. And my side of it would be, what assurances can I give you? What structure can I put in place to make sure you feel affirmed and supported and valued and prioritized as my partner?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the conversation would be a difficult one. I think it would be hard to wrap your mind around it as a partner, given that, I mean, we don't have children. We don't have, we don't really have anything that ties us together except for this intangible, faith-based, this sort of lofty, abstract idea or sense of purpose. And I think it would be difficult for someone to understand, or maybe not to understand. I think it's easy to understand. I think it might be difficult for someone to internalize and sort of like trust again and sort of wonder like what's going on? Like, could there be something stirring? Are they going to, rekindle? Like, there's going to be a lot of questions as a human being. Right. And I think, again, the what you said is so important, to offer those assurances like, hey, this is us and this is for greater purpose. And, we feel sort of invited into this space at this time, and it's business, it's work. I think someone who is emotionally intelligent, and perhaps even more so spiritually intelligent, would be able to, and relationally intelligent. Oh, let me come with the intelligences. Would be able to navigate that. We'd be able to navigate that.
Obviously, I feel the same, but I'm also just thinking, I know a lot of men who, if their woman told them, hey, I really feel like I should spend the next week in Hawaii with my ex-husband doing some speaking arrangements, they would be like, heck no, right? Much stronger.
The man I'm looking for is going to be like, baby, I'm going to come with you. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're out there.
I hear you.
Call me. No, I'm joking.
So emotional intelligence has come up several times. And now we've added spiritual and relational intelligence. Where do you think the line is between they have enough for me to work with and they're at a level that I can't work with it?
Where do we draw the line?